Greetings. Today's guest is a Getzen Eterna flugelhorn. I bought this new in 1980, late in 1980. I was a junior in high school and played it exclusively. It was my main only flugelhorn until about 1998. I sold it to a former student of mine in 2001, 2002, thereabouts. He in turn, sometime later, sold it to a classical trumpet player here in Madrid. I was looking around for some used flugelhorns for my students, and I saw this pictured. I didn't recognize it right away. It has a third valve trigger now that it never had when I owned it. And I wrote the seller to get some more photos, and he responded, well, it should seem familiar to you because it did belong to you. So he knew that it was mine at one time and recognized my name, I guess. So I met with him and bought it back in 2017. And it's been hanging around the studio ever since. I have long wanted to disassemble, clean the inside, clean up the silver plating with some polish, buff that out a little bit. And I finally got around to doing that a few days ago. I found some interesting things, and that leads us to a new segment we call
Extreme.
Great. You played your horn yesterday or last week, you pick it up and play it, it's not quite right. There's got to be a before and after moment, don't you think? You're at least going to ask yourself what happened to your favorite clothespin. You know, I don't know which of the two interim owners was guilty of this, but yeah, it just that was the main reason the horn sounded so bad these last years. We'll keep going down. I don't know what this is. Is it paper? Tape? Why is it still white if it's been in here for so long? Has it been here from the day it was manufactured? Now the camera is scraping off whatever it is. Unbelievable. Keep going down. More. Oh, yeah. So more weirdness. That's a solder blob there on the right where the bell meets the third piston. It's a real hard place. It's not uncommon on trumpets, for example, where the bell comes out of the valve section at the first valve. Go a little bit further down. That's the hole for the water key. We're actually in the part of the bell that's called the tone branch, and we'll see some more solder slop where the tone branch attaches to the main part of the bell. And as you work the snake brush through the horn to clean it, you can feel all this stuff. Sometimes the brush gets a little hung up. To get the clothespin out, I had to send the snake brush up into the third valve casing, curve it into the tone branch, all the way down past the water key, up to the part of the bell where it curves up, loosen it up, and then shake it out. Great. Some famous players that have used the Getzen flugelhorn include Freddie Hubbard, here with his 895, also known to have played in 896, as does Thad Jones in this picture. That's the 4-valve version. They don't make that one anymore, but they still make the 895. They also make another flugelhorn, I believe. A few years ago, they came out with a model that has a slightly smaller bore. Makes a lot of sense because the Getzen design, it's a 460 ml bore like you would have on a trumpet. That's actually awfully big for a flugelhorn when you realize that starting here, the bore gets larger and larger. It's a conical instrument. So this can lead to intonation problems and difficulty playing above the staff. And that certainly is a characteristic of these flugelhorns. Here's a picture of the original 895 design. I believe at that time they used the 6-inch diameter bell, not the 6.5-inch diameter bell that's used on mine and also on the 896. If you're looking for a mouthpiece for a Getzen Eterna flugelhorn, you'll find that it's listed on many websites as a large taper receiver for large taper mouthpieces. I'm not sure how accurate that is, and I don't have any large taper mouthpieces with which to test that, but this is the original lead pipe that came with the flugelhorn. It's very strange because it's the only flugelhorn lead pipe I've ever seen that has an actual ledge, as a trumpet lead pipe would, where the receiver meets the actual lead pipe. The lead pipe enters into the receiver and it's soldered. Most flugelhorn lead pipes, all the flugelhorn lead pipes that I've seen, are just a straight tube. There's no impediment there. So when you put this Bach mouthpiece in the original lead pipe, it bottoms out there, and it's also very loose. So could be large taper, could be something between small and large. I don't know. Anyway, years later, they came up with a solution, supposedly. I got in touch with the Getzen company when I was getting ready to sell this horn because I had switched from a Giardinelli mouthpiece that I played for many, many years to a Bach mouthpiece. And I found that when I picked up my old Getzen Eterna flugelhorn again and tried to play it with my current mouthpiece, I was having this problem. It didn't sit well. So I ordered this newer, improved lead pipe from them. And okay, it goes in, it's pretty snug. It does wiggle very slightly. And I'm not sure how clear this will be on the camera, but there's not enough engagement. It should be maybe a quarter of an inch more entry into the lead pipe for the fit to be what it should be. So again, this is not going to help your intonation. It's not going to help the high register. And hopefully I can start looking for a solution for this, and the horn will continue to improve. We did hear the horn during the intro. That's from my very first album that was recorded in 1994. And the sound, I'm happy. I was happy and still am proud of the way the horn sounds on that recording. I didn't have any other options. So I'm confident that we can regain its former glory. That album is available on Bandcamp, as are many other of my recordings. And to close out, we'll listen to the horn again. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.